Okay, it says I'm live on here. All right, folks. My name is Frank Barris. I'm a secured party creditor, an American State National. Um, I I got to be honest. I've never made a video. I'm not a YouTuber. It's not my bag or my wheelhouse. Got a face for radio, of course, but here we are. Um, I reckon it all started for me in about 14, 15. I got an email from someone and said something about the birth certificate scam, and it completely resonated with me. But I got really busy. I was working on a ranch as a caretaker, as I am now, and just got lost in work and then didn't have a whole lot of time. And then when I moved, I bought some property and moved out to the mountain. Excuse me, this mountain energy, it opened up a channel in me and everything started making sense. And the more research I did, the more I found out that this is all real. This ain't some hoax. Of course, my whole life, this realm never made any sense to me. But, anyways, I learned how to become a secured party creditor. And what that does is it allows you to take over all your straw man. And your straw man is your name in all capital letters. Pretty much, you need to learn the nomenclature, the English language. The English language was the language of lies. It was created for Black's Law, etc. But once I started learning the verbiage and what was really going on, I learned how to become a secured party creditor, and I tried to start offsetting the debt. And I had a little bit of luck with it, but the deep state, the cabal, they was on it. I mean, it used to work way back in the 70s all the time, they said. But as things progressed and got worse, they wouldn't allow it because it's all supposed to go through the IRS and it's supposed to offset the debt through House Joint Resolution 192, which was the loophole that was created after two senators, I think, from the Southwest had filed a lawsuit on the corporate fiction entity of United States Inc. So they hurried up and passed this House Joint Resolution 192, which was the remedy for us to pay our bills, being we didn't have any money since 1913. Basically, it's all been fiat. So the secured party creditor was my first part of the awakening process. And then I started getting I started finding the American State Nationals. I got to following Anna Von Reitz for a while, but after a minute, that didn't pan out, just didn't resonate with me no more. So then I found David Straight, and I did David Straight's paperwork, the affidavit and accessory oath of repudiation. And once I did that, about 2 months later, I became invisible. I was going wherever I wanted with my plates everywhere. It just, all over the world. Back in October, I went through an international border into Canada, and I'm a retired alcoholic addict and had quite the record. And when I went through there, they said that I didn't have as much as a jaywalking ticket on my record. So I know that the paperwork works if it gets in the hands of people that have common sense and live through their heart chakra and not ego and greed and fear. But so anyways, pretty much okay. Now this is the first time I ever done this live or whatever. So now I'm seeing people sending messages. I don't know, Corey, how I ended up on your sub list. I honestly don't know. But so anyhow, once I became an American State National and got into the assembly and started talking with a bunch of like-minded folks, just more spiritual awakenings, more research. And I had learned when I got sober, if it resonated with you, keep it. If it don't, pitch it. And that's pretty much what I've been doing. And it's led me down this path. And before I got pulled over in October of last year by them 3 youngins. I wasn't ever bothered. I'd live about 40 miles outside of Casper, Wyoming, and I'd go through mills and I'd go through everywhere, and they seen them plates. You can't miss my plates I made. I mean, I created those and made them myself online, and everything was fine. And all of a sudden, last October, I was exceeding their corporate bylaw speed limit and got pulled over. And I'll be the first to admit I should have handled it different. But anyhow, it turned into what it did, and I thought I better start recording, and I did. And then after that incident, what they had done, being I bruised their egos because of their ignorance, is they put warrants out on me, fraudulent warrants that said I had warrants for my arrest. Okay. Can't be true. I just crossed an international border a month prior. You ain't getting across an international border, number one, with a record like I had, number two, with warrants for your arrest. So they created fraudulent warrants because I hurt their egos. So I ended up getting kidnapped, spent 3 days in the hole. And as a sovereign, I will tell you this, your phone pins don't work. I mean, I was, for 72 hours, I didn't even know my critters was getting fed. And so anyways, I got out on, here's how it works. There's a bid bond, and then there's the performance bond, and then there's the payment bond. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, that's the way it goes. So the bid bond is when they created the warrant through the fraudulent affidavit of Wyoming Highway Patrol, which, I mean, literally violated his oath of office. I mean, so many, these guys, they violate so many of their own law, their own corporate bylaws. It's not even funny. So anyways, they put out this fraudulent warrant on me. They get me. I was lucky enough to get bailed out, like $17,000 to get bailed out. I went to court with an authenticated birth certificate that looks like something like this. This is a copy of one. It's got the rivet. You got one that comes from the state. That's from the socialist state of Illinois. Through the birth certificate, all capital letter name, straw man, and the bond number right there. So that was the big one for me. Once I realized that our birth certificates were bank bonds, why in the hell is that even a thing? So then I go to court. Well, these guys ain't prepared. So now I just been getting kicked back to the back burner. Nobody will answer my phone calls, blah, blah, blah. But anyways, I been getting a lot of requests from you guys. Sounds like there's a thirst for knowledge. I just am not really, this is not my wheelhouse. I'm a certified mechanic and a welder and a fabricator, machinist. So, you know, I just pretty much know enough to get in trouble when it comes to these computers. Now, I learned when the internet came out in the mid-90s, I learned how to use the internet for information. Like I said, as a mechanic, I used it for, you know, printing manuals. And back then it was free. But anyway, so the most important thing that people need to do is step into their spiritual sovereignty and start standing up for what your soul is telling you is right or wrong. Because until you start doing that, none of this is going to end. So with that being said, I got some stuff going right now, and I'm trying to answer some questions. Told the officers that they pull. Right on, Corey. So anyways, you guys, I don't really know where to start with the, you know, there's just so much research. The best thing I can tell you guys is to get online and find David Straight. He's got the best explanation. He's got some excellent videos. The Out of Babylon series is really good, but I highly recommend to watch all the videos you can that he puts out because they're very, very educational. The man's a genius. I went down to Texas and met him in 19 and a couple other folks. Ron Gibson, real good guy. He's like land patent mining claim expert of the world. And he can also help people once you become sovereign and you get your land. He can teach you and show you how to become the freeholder of the land. And once you're a freeholder, there ain't no covenants, there ain't no codes, there ain't none of that. It's the way it's supposed to be. So with that being said, I'm going to hop off of here. I just thought I'd give this a try. I've never done live before. And a little nervous. This ain't my wheelhouse. But anyhow, I appreciate all the interest. And I would really like to learn how to do this to maybe make a buck. Snowed in right now. That's why I decided to try it today. So if you guys got any knowledge to help me with my channel, I would appreciate that. So with that being said, appreciate you. I love you all. Peace.